I'm Sarah Richardson and I'm an Associate Professor in the Department of History. I've worked at Warwick since 1988. At the moment I'm in charge of the first year in the Department of History. As regards undergraduate research, I integrate it into the curriculum at all levels. So with the first year I convene a core module which is taken by nearly 300 first years called Making History. It has a strong element of student research through it, which culminates in them doing a workshop in the Modern Records Centre here in the archives at Warwick, and they produce a sort of project at the end of it, a little research project, which has to be based on 3 primary sources. And we found that the first years really enjoy that, and also they produce some sort of really innovative pieces of work. The way in which it's designed is to try and have a research orientation throughout, but also to really get the students thinking about the production of history. So the content of Making History, it's divided into blocks, and each of the blocks is designed in a way to recognise different bits of all types of research that go on in the department. So there's 4 blocks. One is on contemporary history. The second block is on early modern history. Third is on history and memory, which is, we have quite a lot of academics who work on 20th century, particularly things like the Holocaust and the war, and so it's how those sorts of things are remembered and interpreted. And then the last block is on global history. So they have the standard sort of lectures and seminars. We have debates where the students are able to ask questions, or there's a panel discussion and things like that. So we try and introduce conversations between historians as well as sort of straightforward lectures. We also have workshops, so we have workshops on academic writing, have workshops on creating podcasts and video casts. We have smaller pieces of assessment which again help to build up to this final project, which is a research project. So there's a small assessment that is produced in a podcast, which is a review of a particular novel or a film, a historical novel or a film. We have a small assessment which is a review of a document of a primary source, and we have an assessment which is a review of a piece of secondary literature, of an article. So all of those are helping them to prepare for this larger project, both in terms of the skills that they need, so the producing a digital object, and the research skills. And then in the final term, it culminates in a workshop in the Modern Records Centre. The students are incredibly ambitious, so they'll come with massive topics, and it's sort of saying to them, like, no, you have to narrow your focus, like when you do research. A lot of it is trying to get them to understand how to construct a research project. And then they go away, they find the sources, and they write. And as I say, generally we found they produce, certainly some of them produce like outstanding pieces of work. Some of them they themselves sort of self-publish on blogs and things because they're so proud of them, which is, which is great, I think, for first year to do.